Hello everyone. Welcome to your restorative practice. Um, so today, this might be a good practice to do in bed if you have, a bed close by where you can be really comfortable and supported by your mattress, or go ahead and grab some couch cushions and or pillows and blankets. You can see that typically you can see my yoga mat here, but today I have a blanket just laid out across my mat just to add a little bit of extra warmth and a little bit of extra comfort, because restorative yoga is all about just releasing the body, the tissue, the muscles, the joints, letting everything be effortless and very passive, and using all of our props to support stillness or whatever shape we come to find ourselves resting in. And we're going to take longer holds today, so that means we'll be doing less movement and less poses. We'll do about 3 different postures, and then we'll settle into Shavasana. So the first posture that we're going to create is belly down Shavasana. And so I always like to take something underneath my ankles. Right now I'm just going to use a rolled up blanket, place that at the bottom of my mat, and the tops of my feet or the tops of my ankles are going to rest here. And then I'm going to take a couch cushion or a few pillows, and that's what's going to support my pelvis and my belly. And so just from like a bird's eye view, this is the area I want to support with my cushions. I'm going to lay belly down on this. So you can see that I have space above my chest for my chin, for my mouth to breathe freely. And then kind of depending on like the length of your neck and what's going on in your neck, you might place a folded blanket underneath your forehead. You could also stack your hands underneath your forehead. And so when we come down to the belly here, it always just takes a minute to kind of get into position. One other thing I might recommend is having a folded blanket resting on the low back, just to add a little bit of, again, extra weight, extra support, and then coming down to the belly. And just taking a peek at me here, see where my chest is. And then I have the top of my chest free in space, and my chin, my mouth, my nose. And then I can just stack my hands here, rest my forehead there, kind of see how that feels on the shoulder and the neck. Or you could take a prop like a pillow or a folded blanket underneath the forehead if you like. You could try both and see which one works best for you. We'll just start to settle into stillness. Take your time with this setup. If you're still headed there, that's okay. We're going to spend a longer amount of time in each shape today. And so as you come to your belly, if your cushion is too far up your chest, like for example, too close to your throat, it might be hard to breathe. And if that's true for you, you want to scoot up on your cushions so that more of the soft part of the belly, the entire pelvis, maybe even the top of the thighs is supported on your cushion, and the upper chest, throat, chin, mouth, and nose are free of any cushion or compression. So taking your time to settle in here, and as you're ready, just start to deepen the breath, or even first just become aware of the breath. As you become aware of the breath here, you might notice qualities of the breath, such as the texture of it, like if you can feel the sensation of the breath moving in and out of the nose.
Maybe just spending a few moments focusing on what that feels like. Breath moving in and out of the nose. And even if there's sensation at the back of the throat as you do this, taking that awareness a little bit deeper as you breathe in and out through the nose. Is there sensation in the chest, the rib cage, maybe even into the belly? So noticing if you can feel your breath moving up and down the spine. And then taking it one step further, noticing the breath, is there a different temperature on the inhale and on the exhale? Can you notice the temperature of the breath? Like a warm exhale and a cool inhale. Let's take 3 more breaths here on the belly. And when you're ready to come out of this shape, you can slide the hands underneath your shoulders, pressing up to a tabletop. Feel free here if you want to move a little bit into cat and cow, you could. You could also press your hips back to your heels and find child's pose. So just take a few moments to transition in whatever way you like. I'm going to start to set up our next shape. So we'll rearrange the cushions and the blankets. We're going to create a little bit of a ramp for our leg to rest on, and we're going to do one leg at a time. And so when I say ramp, I mean we're going to elevate the top part of a cushion. So if you have multiple cushions and throw pillows, you're just creating an elevation for the foot to lay on top of. So I'll show you what I mean. So
See how when I rest my leg up here, my foot's higher than my knee, my foot's higher than my hip, and both of my hips are still on the floor. Or if you're in bed, your hips are lower than your knee joint and your foot joint. Okay. And so that's all we're going to do with the leg, just one at a time. You can choose whichever leg you want to elevate first, so building yourself a little ramp for that leg. And then as you lie back, again, you might take a little bit of extra weight to the belly, like a folded blanket or two. And then you might take something underneath the back of the head if you're on a hard surface, like a hardwood floor or something. Maybe another folded blanket. I just like to tuck and roll a folded blanket one time underneath my neck so that my cervical spine gets some support. And this little ramp that one of your leg is resting on, it can be as high as you want it. Okay. But really, just as a reminder, in a restorative practice, it's not about sensation or stretch. It's about supporting the body in a very soothing, comforting way, like as if you were getting yourself ready to go to sleep. You want your whole body to be relaxed, supported, and at ease. And that can look different for a lot of us. So feel free to adjust your props until you find that place where you're like, ah, yes, I want to rest here for a while. Whatever you want to do with your arms, you can stretch them out wide. You can rest your hands on your belly or your rib cage. The leg that is not being elevated, I can just rest on the floor alongside the ramp that you've created. There's really nothing for that leg to do, just let it rest. As you settle into stillness here, you can bring your awareness back to your breath. That's helpful. If you need something to focus the attention and the mind on, breath is a great tool to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, teaching your body that it's okay to rest. And also teaching your mind that the body is a safe place to rest into, which is not always true for everyone. Body can feel unsafe sometimes. If we use the tool of our breath to turn on our parasympathetic nervous system, we can rewire our brain. Neuroplasticity, the synapses in the brain, can teach the body that it's safe and okay to rest. But this is actually the body's preferred state of being. And a key indicator that parasympathetic nervous system is on is if you start to hear signs of digestion, like your belly's gurgling. That's the parasympathetic nervous system response. Part of it, anyways. It's not just rest, but it's also digest. I'll take 3 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're just going to take a pause in between sides. You can just let that leg, that whatever leg you have on your ramp, slide off of it, off to the side. So you might have your ramp kind of like in between the legs and the legs stretching out. We'll just take about 3 breaths here. Okay, so we'll start to lift the opposite leg onto the ramp. And if you need to adjust your body so that you're still supported on your mat and your blanket, you can go ahead and do that. So again, it's the foot, back of the calf, the knee, a little bit of the hamstring that's being elevated on the ramp, and then the glutes and the pelvis on the floor, or just if you're on your bed, then you're lower than the knee and the foot. If you need to add any extra layers of clothing, if you're getting a little chilly like I am, feel free to add extra blankets if you have them nearby. And then we'll start to settle into stillness here on this side. If you did have to get up and adjust, just take a few moments to relax the shoulders. Find a comfortable position to rest your hands. Relax the jaw. And if you're closing your eyes, you can soften the area, the flesh, the skin around the eyes, and even between the eyebrows. the mind starts to wander and you'd like to bring your awareness back to this moment, you can anchor in on the breath. You can notice the quality, the texture of the breath, the sensation, the temperature. Slightly cooler on the inhale, and slightly warmer on the exhale. Let's take 3 more breaths here. As you let your second leg come off of your little ramp, you can pause in any way you like. You can bend the knees and plant the feet. You can let both legs stretch out. You could roll off to a side and take fetal position. I'll take 3 breaths in a transitional pose. Any shape you're taking, just let that be your transition.
And then we'll briefly sit up and just kind of rearrange our props for our final Shavasana. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a ramp, a little bit more of a shallow ramp for both my legs. Instead of one leg at a time, I'll do both legs. So I'm taking 2 little throw pillows here, and then I'm placing the cushion that I was using vertically. I'm turning it horizontally, so it spans the width of my mat. My hamstrings and the backs of my knees are going to rest here, and then the rest of my legs will rest here. So it'll look like this. Scoop my sits bones up to the edge of that lifted cushion. Drape the backs of my knees on top of that. Hamstrings get support, calves get support, ankles get support, and then maybe another blanket goes over the body so that you're nice and warm and supported as you settle back. If there's anything else you're craving for your final Shavasana, like legs up the wall, or if you want to go back to belly down Shavasana the same way we started class, by all means, please take care of yourself and listen to what the body's asking for. As you're ready, settling in, take your time to kind of make those micro adjustments. Shoulders relax, throat softens, maybe swallow. Relax the teeth. Let the tongue widen at the base of the mouth. The entire jaw softens. All the muscles of the face relax. Shavasana. If you have more time to spare, please feel free to stay in Shavasana longer. If you need to move on with your day, start to gently awaken the body. You're ready, you can stretch your arms overhead, breathing into the full length of the body, all the way from the fingertips to the toes. Any way you like, you can start to transition to a very brief
upright seat. Maybe you're moving through child or fetal position to get there. And if you're coming from that belly down, maybe you move through child's pose. We'll take 3 rounds of our cyclical breathing where we inhale fully through the nose, pause at the top, take 1 more sip of air in, and then a full exhale all the way out. Beginning as you're ready, full breath in. Pause. 1 more sip of air. Exhale, let it go. Breathing in as you're ready. When you're full of breath, pause. 1 more sip of air. Exhale, let it go. One more breath like that. Try it on your own. If you like, you can join your hands together at the heart, bow the chin to the chest. Taking a moment to honor your effort and your practice with reverence and gratitude. To all of our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste, yogis. All right, thank you so much for being with me today. I hope you're feeling nice and rested. Take care of yourselves, and I hope you come back again soon.